Our play happens in two parts, essentially. The Hollow Crown is the first story, which is, I guess, the conflation of four huge plays by William Shakespeare, one being Richard II, the next being Henry IV Part 1, Henry IV Part 2 and Henry V into one saga which happens across one night, the reigns of three famous monarchs. And the second show, The Wars of the Roses, picks up with Henry VI, the son of Henry V, of course, who was crowned in infancy to the throne of England, and the extraordinary journey through Margaret of Anjou and the York and Lancaster divide, the Wars of the Roses between the White Rose of York and the Red Rose of Lancaster, that builds to the famous reign, the infamous reign in terms of the way he's been treated dramatically, at least, not necessarily historically, of Richard III. Shakespeare's plays very much hang together as a sequence, and that's what we tried to bring to bear in this summer season this year, is to look at the way the play Henry IV is actually an inevitable consequence of the play Richard II, and the play Henry VI is actually an inevitable consequence of the fact that Henry IV told his son, Henry V, to invade a foreign country in order to bring their own country together and ensure the next popular vote, as it were. And so these plays are literally the consequence of what has happened previously in this history. And in many ways, I often think of the comedies of Shakespeare being stories about, essentially they're stories about the way we grow through love and sex as a culture, the comedies, all of them. But essentially they're about the things that keep a community together. Every comedy will be about love and sex and jealousy and envy and those things pulling a community apart, but then finally massaging it back into a newness, into a new beginning by the end of it. So comedies are about what keeps our culture together. Shakespeare's tragedies are, of course, about what tears our culture apart. And his history plays are very much about who leads our culture. How do we, and it's obviously nowadays with the world in such extraordinary chaos in terms of its understanding of leadership, some of the people that are leading the free world and the less free world at the moment are just mind-boggling to behold. And Shakespeare's obsession with the history plays is decoding what is that process that brings people to power. How are the common people manipulated as part of that process? What personal liberties or action do we take as a community in choosing our leaders or overthrowing our leaders or living beneath our leaders? What is the effect of leadership on us? So that's what these history plays, I guess, are about.